Hello, today I'm doing something very different. I am doing a tier list, which is certainly interesting. We'll see if it picks up. Probably not this video because it's kind of a weird topic. This is Eurovision. Now, a lot of you probably know about Eurovision because a lot of you are European. A lot of you probably know about it because it is just so popular in the world, so big in the world. One of the biggest singing competitions. But me personally, I didn't really get involved in it until this year, and I thought it would be fun just to rank them. And I'm mainly doing this because I want to hear your guys' opinions. I want to hear the people who care more about this, your opinions on my ranking, but also just the contest overall this year. I did watch loosely 2024, so I kind of have something to compare it to, but definitely not much. But you can see here I've made, well, I haven't made, I kind of stole this list maker and I edited it a little bit. So I have right here some of the countries that made it to the finals but didn't make it to the top 10. And then now I have the top 10 and all the rest of this just ignore. But I'm going to be ranking the top 10 of the finals in Eurovision. So the 10 countries that got the most points in the very end, I'm taking those and I'm seeing how do I feel about it. And it'll be interesting to compare that to the actual ratings. But without further ado, let's start off with the first song that I heard about when we were getting, that run up to Eurovision, and everyone was promoting their songs, and it happened to be Ukraine, which makes sense. Ukraine has a lot of buzz in the media right now and for a while. And they came out with a song called "Bird of Prey." That's the one that got picked, and I feel not disappointed by Ukraine this year. But it definitely just doesn't feel as strong as their past performances. Ukraine has been doing pretty good for a while. I've seen some of their performances in Eurovision before where they were quite popular and you can hear the cheering in the room. You definitely heard that still this time, but just not as much. And I kind of just think that really just shows you how people felt about it. But they still ended up with ninth place, I believe. But it's just not my style. It's not my style. It's not my style of music. I really liked their last song in 2024. It was really cool. I liked the set piece for it, although it was just a big rock. I liked the outfits for it. The woman was beautiful. That was singing. They did her outfit really good, her hair really good, and I liked the style of that song better. It felt like a stronger song. I'm sure if you were sitting there in the audience, you probably felt it like in your bones. But this year, I don't think you feel that. It's a song that you're like, okay, that was good. But it's not a song you would listen to on the radio. Maybe their 2024 song isn't either. But if I had to choose between the two, I would definitely pick that one. But without further ado, I think we're gonna put Ukraine in. I think we're gonna put them nice in the middle of the road, a C tier. I think C tier this time is fair. Now let's pick a new one. Let's go France. France this year had a song that was one thing I did like about it was that the singer sung in French. I've noticed a lot of Eurovision people sing in English or they sing in a different language. I always thought that was kind of odd. I understand the appeal of it, but also, of course, you have to think, this is a country I'm representing. I should probably speak the language of that country, but I also understand a lot of reasons why not. But I did like that the French singer this year did choose to sing in French, and I liked her song. It had a kind of almost wavy feel. It went up and down a good bit, and I think it did very well. And I think she did very well vocally. I think she has a good voice. Some people at Eurovision, I noticed, sing songs, but they don't sing them with the best voice. Which is disappointing. But I liked France this time. They did a good job. I like that she spoke in French. I like the tone of the song and the way it moves. I think we're gonna put that in B tier. Now next, let's pick Switzerland. Of course, this event was held in Switzerland. Switzerland won in 2024. To be perfectly honest, I wouldn't have picked them to be the winner in 2024. Although I really liked Nemo's song, especially the rap part, I thought was really cool. And not only the rap part, but the part where they actually spin on that weird plate thing. And I like the beat of that song a lot. But I wouldn't have picked them for 2024. Now 2025, it's more of a melodic song. And I have to say that the singer for Switzerland this year is has really good vocals. I think she has better vocals than Nemo in 2024, although maybe not the same range as Nemo, but that's to be debated. But I really liked what I heard from Switzerland. I think I'm going to put them in in C tier, and I'm going to put them in front of Ukraine. Now, next up is Greece. I don't know what that song was called that they had this year, and I also don't remember what they did in 2024 if they even qualified for the finals or what. But I thought Greece did a really good job with their vocals. I think the woman had very good vocals. I don't really understand why she wore glasses. That seemed a little off-putting. I mean, of course, I know you wear glasses to see, but when you're on stage and everything's all dressed up, it just is juxtaposing all of that with glasses in the way that it's just not what you would expect from a performance like that. I guess I'm not trying to be weird, but it's just like something I noticed. But her vocals were really top notch, and I haven't looked too far into the meaning of the song, but I do know it's more of a serious song. And by that, I just mean it's like telling the story of certain things that have happened to the Greeks, which may be controversial for some people, or But I do think it's interesting that I do like when a country comes in and they show some pride for their country, for their country's history. Uh, it seemed like a really dignified performance as well, and I really liked it. I think I'm gonna put Greece in A tier, first A tier of the day. Now on to Italy, I think Italy did very great. I've seen some of their songs in the past, including 2021 when a certain band got on and they definitely made some noise there. Um, but I thought they did a really good job. I really like both the his voice and also the way the song moves. Like the way it goes from dun 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 dun. Dun. I was really nice, and I also liked the music, like the actual instruments. I mean, and it wasn't as fast paced as some of the other songs. It wasn't as loud as the other songs, at least in some points. And so in that way, it was kind of similar to Ukraine, but it definitely had more of like a song. It had definitely more had a vibe to it of like a song that you would listen to and or like sway to or something, or maybe like a dancing song. Do I see Ukraine as a dancing song? No, but Italy definitely. But I was really impressed by Italy this year. I think I'm going to put them as a B tier. Now let's do Albania. Now Albania this year, I was again surprised by because Albania kind of came out of nowhere, at least this year. And it just had such a good rhythm to it. It had such a good beat to it, and I like the vocals as well. I think she did a good job. It was definitely different, but it's definitely felt more so like a song, more so than a lot of these, like something I would actually listen to if I wanted to like pick something up on Spotify and play it for something that I heard from Eurovision. I would definitely consider Albania. I don't know anything about the artist, or I don't know anything about the meaning of the song, but definitely like has that like that power behind it and that pride again. And also, I love hearing the Albanian language is just so cool. So I think honestly, I would put Albania in high A tier above Greece. Now next, let's see, let's pick Israel. Now Israel's of course pretty controversial, and if you're European, and also just if you're non-European, it's controversial as to should they even be in the actual contest, and it's also controversial in the way that like should they have gotten as many votes as they did. I've heard people call fraud and all that, and my personal opinion as an American, of course, everyone has their biases, and I have mine as well, but I personally felt like they did not do as good of a job compared to what they like got results wise from that vote, the televote. I think that's why so many people were shocked by it, was because people did not expect for Israel to get that many points. I did like the song. I like the singer's voice at some points, but I kind of, in the same way as Ukraine, I kind of feel like it's not something I would listen to. Maybe it would be something my mother would listen to, if that makes sense. Is that an insult? Maybe it's a compliment in a way, but it's definitely not for me. And again, I am personally, again, this is just bias, but I am personally upset that they, in a way, it feels like they just took so many votes from other countries that I just can't really believe actually did take their votes. That's another thing. I know there's a whole bunch of controversy about that. I'm not like saying that they did anything dirty. I just don't know about that. I haven't done any research into it. But what I am saying is that it felt off, not in the way that there was something fishy going on, but it just felt off in terms of like the way the contest usually goes. And I didn't like seeing such an inflated count compared to other countries. I just feel like that's no fun in any song contest. One example would be 2022 with Ukraine. They got a lot of points. I actually do like 2022's song a lot for Ukraine. But do I believe they deserve 600 plus points? I don't think so. I think that kind of just shows you that Eurovision always has been political, and this isn't like showing my stance for Ukraine as a country or anything, but I do feel like that's just some sort of political thing. That was because of what happened in 2022. Now, is this the same situation where it's because of what happened in 2023, 2024, 2025? I don't know. But it just kind of had that same feeling where it's like, okay, that was a good song, but it didn't deserve that much. So with that, I think I'm going to put them at, let's see, I think I'm going to put them at the very top of D tier. The next up, we're going to do the actual winner of Eurovision, and that's going to be Austria. They won this year, just barely over Israel, I believe. Um, and I I like Austria's song. I really think that JJ did a good job vocally. Like the range, the like vocal range is actually quite impressive. And it kind of had the same vibe as Nemo's song where last year, where it had that like opera mixed into it. Although this one was a lot more kind of in that respect. But it does lose some points just because it is something that I wouldn't listen to. But I do like that it is more like higher, like the voice definitely is a stronger voice than some of these other ones. And I do like that about it. But I don't think I personally don't believe that they deserve to win. I don't believe that first place or second place deserve to win. But I'm gonna put this slightly above Israel. I think I'm gonna put it. I think I'm gonna put it in between Switzerland and Ukraine. No, actually, you know what? I lied. I'm gonna put it in B tier. I'm gonna put it at the very end of B tier. I think you can't really ignore a voice like that. This is quite impressive. Is it overrated? I think in the same case as Israel, I think it is. I think maybe a bit overrated, but I do find myself a lot more impressed with it compared to Israel and compared to some other countries. So that's why I put it in B tier. Now only two left. Let's go on to Estonia. Estonia was definitely a lot of people's favorite pick for this. You can see why. It kind of has that same vibe as the last couple of winners. I know Baby Lasagna definitely wanted Estonia to win. A lot of people also had problems with the song, said it was controversial or rude to Italians and other things. Now, of course, I don't really know too much about the song, and I'm not Italian, so I don't really feel that same hurt that some people may be feeling. So I can't really speak on that, but I can speak on the actual song itself. I like the dance work and I like the vibe of it, but I don't think that he did his best vocally. I know this is like kind of a different genre of song for him compared to some of his other songs, but I wasn't that impressed with his vocal range and just his voice in general. And I guess the best way to describe it was I don't see it as a winner. I know people wanted it to win, but it doesn't feel like a winner. I would rather have had any of these two win over Estonia. That's just my opinion. So I think it's overrated in the same way that Israel's was overrated. I think I am going to put. Don't hate me for this. I'm gonna put Estonia in C tier. I'm gonna put it just behind Ukraine. I like the song. I just did not like his vocal performance. Maybe he did better in the other rounds. I didn't watch everything, but from what I saw, it did not seem like Eurovision winner material, but I did like the sound of it, and I have like seen it on, or I have played it myself once before, just like to listen to, and I thought it sounded pretty, or a good bit better on Spotify, and has that fun kind of energetic feel. So that's why it's in C tier and not buddying up with Israel. But now last one. Last one is Sweden. Now Sweden's song I really liked because it had that kind of bump to it. It kind of had, and it was playful, kind of like Estonia's in that way. But I liked the voices much better. Of course, I liked the set a lot better. It was kind of fun the way they did it. I thought that was cool. And to be honest, I just liked everything about it. I can't complain about it at all. It, again, in a way, had the same vibe as the past runner-ups that everyone praises. But not in the way of like the music sounds similar. It obviously is a very different style than Croatia's or Finland's. In 2024 and 2023. But it had that same vibe to me, as in like the this guy probably should have won vibe. So I think I am going to put Sweden as my S tier. If I had to pick a S tier. If not, then I would probably put them somewhere in A. And really, this could go between the three of them. So let's see. Is there any final thoughts on this chart before I publish this video? Oh god. I think I am going to bump down Ukraine. I'm going to bump down Ukraine to D tier, but I'm going to put them above Israel. And I do think that is a high margin above Israel. I still think Israel is the most overrated out of all of these, and but they both share that quality, like I said earlier, of me just, I would not listen to this. Maybe my mom would, or maybe my grandma would, but this just isn't my style. It's not something I would pick up. I like the cheeriness of Ukraine's. Oh, it's not really cheery. It's kind of like a cheery and sad in a way, Bird of Prey. But again, I just think they come out on the bottom of all these just because I really like all of these songs. Just because it's in C tier, doesn't mean that I don't like the song. I actually like all of these. That's why there's not an F. I would only put a song in F if I actually like just did not like it. None of these are like I would just turn this off or fast forward through it. But it's just my personal rating. But yeah, that's about it. I might have stirred up something. I don't know. I'm trying not to be too biased in this or show my political leanings in any way or anything like that. And I'm not like a musician. I'm not like a music expert, and I'm also not European. So really, it's like, why do I even make this video? But you know what? I'm on vacation right now, and I had to squeeze in some videos to upload during vacation. So this is what you're getting. But I think maybe it is interesting to see the American's perspective, like an average person's perspective on the show, rather than what you hear a lot of the time, which is probably like these ultra fans of the thing, or just like heavily patriotic Europeans. I feel like I have less bias than some of those. But again, let me know, what you think of this rating of the top 10 in this year's Eurovision. Again, this is the top 10 by combined vote, so televote and jury vote. And yeah, please be civil if you do have a problem with this in the comment section. Please leave a constructive complaint, or kind of just ask my opinion on things, and then maybe I'll get more into it. If I've got anything wrong in your eyes, like very wrong, please let me know. But again, I don't hate any of these. This is just the one I like the most. These are the ones that I like the least, and these are the ones kind of in the middle. But I do think Sweden would take the cake for me on this one if I was a jury. But yeah, that is about it. See ya.